Next, we have the concept showcase, which is very exciting. And the format of that is these guys are only allowed 4 minutes and 4 slides. And I'd like to introduce your host for the concept showcase. Thank you very much. Yes, he's the master of the bell. And I'd also like to invite the concepts to come up as well, please, and take a seat. I will hand you over to Gaurav Sinha, founder and CEO of Insignia Worldwide. And Gaurav is a very good friend of Bench Events and Griff. And they've done a lot to support this event from the beginning, which we really appreciate. So please welcome Gaurav and the concept showcase, guys.
Thank you very much. This should be an interesting session. We've got the concept showcase. We've got 3 fascinating gentlemen. One of them I know personally. I think, in a good business proposition, the 3 core pillars, I think you've got the idea, the money, and the operations. And I think we've got somebody speaking on behalf of each of those components. So first, I'd like to welcome to the stage Rohit Sachdev from Soho Hospitality. He's a kindred spirit, somebody I'm very fascinated by what he does. He's opening hotels, designing restaurant concepts, and generally creating a lot of ruckus in Asia. And I would love for him to introduce himself and then maybe lead with I think we've got 4 minutes per person speaking today, so I've got a bell to ding as we move along. Rohit, would you like to take the podium and then
Sure.
get right into it? Maybe start with a few minutes just to explain a little bit about what you do and the things that keep you awake at night.
Yeah, you obviously heard me earlier. I'm Rohit Sachdev. I'm the managing director of Soho Hospitality. We are a diversified hospitality company based out of Bangkok. We design hotels and restaurants for all the major brands, including Starwood, Accor, IHD, Dusit, Anantara, Taj Hotels, and Movenpick. We've started doing turnkey F&B projects for those brands as well, where we're doing everything, including interior design, lighting design, brand development, uniforms, tabletop items in a turnkey manner. Besides that, we own and operate 3 F&B outlets, including Above 11, Charcoal, Tandoor Grill and Mixology, and Havana Social. Above 11 is our flagship F&B outlets, opened in 2012. We do on average about 500 covers on a daily basis. It's fully booked almost every day. We introduced Peruvian Japanese food to Thailand. One of the reasons why it's been fairly successful is primarily because it's got a beautiful design, amazing Peruvian Japanese food, but it's offered at a value for money proposition. So as what I spoke about earlier, there's a great overlap between getting people from the higher end of the market, but also the mass affluents who are coming there and enjoying the place. We have over 30,000 likes on Facebook. Return on investment was about 18 months, and we're currently have successfully franchised this to Bali, Indonesia. It'll be opening towards the middle of this year. Every year we make 1.5 times our initial capex investment as our profits, and we're interested in growing the business further. Our next concept is Charcoal, Tandoor Grill and Mixology. It's our Indian restaurant concept. It's basically an Indian kebabs and signature cocktails concept. We have no curries. We poached some of the best kebab chefs from India, but one of the things we wanted to do was we wanted to change Indian dining, which we felt was very stiff and needed to be reinvented to cater to the likes of the customer of today. So we took our mixologist to India. I in fact went to the spice markets with him, came back to Thailand, went into his lab, and we have all Indian spice infused cocktails. And in fact, when we opened Charcoal, there was about 5 or 6 other restaurants that had opened before us, and they have our kebabs as well as curries. And today I can proudly say that we are the top performing Indian restaurant in Bangkok, even though we have a limited menu. Recently, we came from number 30 on TripAdvisor. We're number 10 in Bangkok out of all restaurants, and that's 8,700 restaurants in Bangkok. We're looking at a return on investment of about 2 years, but again, that's not stabilized because our revenues continue to grow, and it's been growing about 40% since November. This is our little, the next concept is our baby. It's a bar inspired by the 1940s when Havana was the Las Vegas of the Caribbean. And the way you enter this place is you go into this really dodgy lane. You enter into this phone booth, dial the code into the phone, and that's how you enter into 1940s Havana. We're looking at a return of investment of 1 year. We open in January. By December this year, we'll get all our money back. And we really recreated the interiors to really look like it was 1940s Havana. And all these concepts are the ones that we would love to take overseas. We think that all of our concepts have the ability of going into any major city, and we'd love to talk to you further about it. Thank you very much.
So as we wrap up, I'm going to take 1 more minute of your time, Rohit, just to share with the audience. Typically, when you launch a new restaurant concept, can you give, like maybe just in 60 seconds, a snapshot of what is the usual formula that works for an effective launch?
Well, initially, I think we look at first what are the gaps in the market. And usually everybody says, oh my God, there's so much competition, but we always see gaps in the market. And then we try to look for what is the X factor. Because you can create a concept, you can create food, but what is that X factor that's going to differentiate you from something else? And I think that we're always about creating a story. Soho Hospitality, every story, every job we undertake, we tell a great story. A story unfolds, and you know, for example, in Havana Social, when you go into our toilets, we have old 1940 radios playing Fidel Castro revolutionary speeches while you relieve yourself in the toilets. Or at in charcoal, tandoor grill, and mixology, I work with the sound engineer to create the sounds of the streets of India, and I named my toilets after the markets of India. And when you open the door, you almost feel like you're in Chandni Chowk, Delhi. You know, you hear the hawkers screaming. And,
as long as it doesn't smell like that.
So, you know, it's really about storytelling and going and not cutting corners in terms of lighting, interior design, food,
right,
and bringing it all together, and that's what creates emotional connectivity.
Thanks, Rohit. Thank you so much. Thank you. Next, I'd like to invite Akhilesh Bahl, the founder and CEO of Malt Salt Hospitality. Akhilesh has been living in the Middle East for over a decade, has been at the front line of startups and large organizations, and I'll be glad to hand over to you, Akhilesh, to share some insights with us.
Hi, good afternoon, everyone. My name is Akhilesh. I'm the founder and CEO of Molten Salt Hospitality. Molten Salt Hospitality is essentially a restaurant consulting and management firm. So we help build concepts, implement and execute restaurant operations, and go ahead and manage and roll up our sleeves and run the business also. So today I'm here going to talk to you about a very exciting homegrown concept that we've been working on for nearly 2 years now. We started working with the brand when they were one outlet, and I'm proud to say we're on the verge of opening our 5th outlet now. So I'll take you through. It's called The Monk. Sorry, I didn't get the last one. Push. Let me get
Sorry. I'm sorry.
So it's called The Monk, and as the name suggests, and I said, it's a homegrown concept, Chinese cuisine to the core. Let's go point by point. So I'll start with the humble start that we did. The brand was formed in 2013, summer of 2013, the first restaurant opened in one of probably the most busiest areas, residential and commercial-wise, in Dubai. Opened in Karama, a 40-cover restaurant. It tasted sweet success in a very short span of time. People loved the cuisine, great value for money, moving on to the next steps. It was freshness to the core, so food is cooked fresh at each venue. Dim sums being served out of hand-rolled fresh. We don't use machines for that. We've got chefs working in the central processing unit, making dim sums every day, sending them off to each of the restaurants in temperature-controlled vans. All the sauces are made fresh every day, so if you taste the chili paste or the Szechuan sauce, it is fresh, made in the morning, delivered by noon, served for lunch and dinner at every single outlet. The customer base is multicultural, middle to high-end income. So we're right in the middle segment of the market. Well, this is really about, the vision or talking about our beliefs. So we want to enrich the lives of our employees. They come first for us. Customers, obviously, are very, very important. And then giving back to the stakeholders and the promoters. And we do that by delivering superior quality food an exceptional dining experience to every single customer every single day. We want to build a strong presence within the region. So right now we're based only in Dubai, fifth outlet opening very soon in Dubai. But we want to expand within the region organically, as well as working with very strong strategic partners. We want to be the best mid-market F&B brand in the UAE. If I have to call vision, I would call that as the first vision, but working with very strong employees and partners. That's a bit of a journey. If you go by the first restaurant to your left, that opened in Karama in May 2013. Swing all the way to the right, second restaurant, May 2014, Silicon Oasis. You will assume why Silicon Oasis for all of you who understand Dubai. Let me say this, it is the #1 operating outlet for us. A third restaurant came up in Emirates Hills in the Meadows, followed by Wasl and downtown coming up soon within the next 60 to 75 days. I'll take you through a very short journey of our cuisine now. Okay, just one slide here, and I know I'm running on time, but very quickly. It's a homegrown concept, like I said. I'll move on to the fantastic growth within 3 years that we've had. So it's been really about 2.5 years, running into the third. We've got 4 operating outlets, coming up with the 5th. Within the last 1 year, from 2014 going on to 15, we've done a year-on-year increase in revenue of 160% across the system. We've grown our average check by more than 100%. We've served, since the time we opened, more than 150,000 customers. In the last 2 months, in fact, we've crossed over 265,000. And we do also outdoor catering, so we've done a lot of that in the last 2 years, in excess of 200. Our gross profit margins stand at a very healthy 62%. Last 1 year, we've reduced food costs from a 35 going on to 27. February closing gave us 25.5 aggregate. Our marketing spend stands at 2%. And we are an absolute promoter-funded company. There are no bank loans. I'd just like to leave you with some snippets about what our customers have been talking to us and telling us about us. This is all on social. And we're looking at expanding. It'll be a great pleasure to have a chat with you later. Thank you very much.
Thank you. Thank you, Akhilesh. Before you leave, I've got one question for you also. I think it'll be great for having started a brand from ground zero.
Yeah.
You know, just to give, there are 2 schools of thought that location is everything, but at the same time, something cool can redefine the location of a city and make it cool. So from your point of view, can you just maybe give us a little context of, you know, your path towards finding the right location?
So when the journey began, May 2013, you know, we looked at the first one and we said, what are we really trying to create? Yes, cuisine on one side. Who's the audience? Where's the value? And at what spectrum of the value chain in F&B are we trying to position ourselves? We realized we wanted to be mid-market. We wanted to provide great value for money with an exceptional product made fresh, which is the reason why the first outlet, we went into a densely populated area of Karama, heavily populated, demanding customers. They want more than value for the buck they pay. Very challenging environment, but I'm proud to say we succeeded. We went into Silicon Oasis as the second outlet, and we were probably the first F&B entrance in that area. Very risky proposition. We took it head on. We said, look, it's an experiment. We'll try. We revised the interiors. We upgraded the format. We got in the chefs and did a long training. The opening was delayed by 3.5, 4 months. We took it in our stride. We said, doesn't matter. Let's still go ahead and experiment. In the portfolio of 4 operating outlets, I will say it is our #1 operating outlet at the moment. And then Meadows and Wasl, Jumeirah, you know, sort of became no-brainers. But if you look at the entire spread of the brand, we're focused on opening in captive residential complexes with about a 20-25% commercial angle to it. So lunch gets busy, but dinners get even busier. And we do home deliveries. On a weekend in Silicon Oasis, we do probably about 85 to 90 deliveries. And each delivery value is a very respectable 175 going on to 225. So that really helps the bottom line kick it off very well.
Great, thank you so much. Thank you. Now, last but not least, I'd like to introduce you to Orestes Lopez. He is the head of F&B for Silver Spoon Investments. Having been in the industry long enough across various different countries, if we have an ideas person, a monies person, then he's the one who makes things happen. So I'll hand over to Orestes, please, from an operational point of view.
Thank you so much. Yeah, my name is Orestes Lopez, and I'm going to introduce you at the Suto, which is the the restaurant that Silver Spoon Investments company has here in Dubai. We have actually two restaurants. One is located in Al-Wasl Road in Galleria Mall, and the second one just opened a month ago, and it's located in Al-Ghura Center. We actually opening a third one very soon in Bay Square, and then we're going to have a central kitchen. The central kitchen is going to actually cook all the sauces and preparations for the rest of the restaurants, so we can send them to the restaurants and create the perfect taste of everything, which for us the quality is very, very important. That's why we are creating that. Okay. Atisuto means artist in Japanese, and as you can see on the pictures, it's a mixture of new and old Japanese. You know, like that's what we wanted to create. We wanted to create a place like a bakali restaurant in Japan, in Tokyo, in Osaka, in Kyoto. Those are small places with the curtains that you go in and you feel super comfortable. On the floor, it's all kanji letters, which is a poem, 3,000-year-old poem. On the top, we've got graffitis by local artists, mixed with pictures, all the new pictures, all boots, you know, like to create that effect, like if you will feel it in Japan. We've been doing some trips to Japan because we thought that it was very, very important to know how the culture was there and bring everything as much as we could here. So we went 4 times to Japan. We met, we went to Kyoto to see how the traditional Japanese food and Japanese culture, Japanese art could be. But at the same time, we went to Tokyo to see the modernity of it, and Yokohama to just because our executive chef, Ajiro Shinoda, is from there, and just to see how he grown up and how we could bring everything here to Dubai. Apart from that, we contacted some suppliers in Tsukiji Market. Here on the left-hand side, you can see all the tuna that we're going to bring very soon to Dubai. And we have been evolving the restaurants with yakitori grills, organic soya sauce, and now we're bringing Japanese charcoal as well from Japan. Our food, we could say that is a fusion of traditional food, traditional Japanese food, but not only sushi. We touch from yakitori, robotaiyaki, sushi, of course, but also ramen and donburis, which is a very comfortable food, a food that you want to eat not every day, obviously, but maybe twice a week. Wood quality products, sourced in here, obviously, in Dubai, and now bringing as well things from Japan. I talked already about Ajiro Shinoda, but we're already bringing as well a master yakitori grill chef, and very soon with our 4th opening, which will be after Ramadan, we're bringing a master bakery chef. So we want to do like a kind of 4 concepts into the restaurant, which will be the bakery, the restaurant, the sushi bar, and the yakitori bar. And to finish, I'm going to talk a bit of the future plans that Atisuto and us at Silver Spoon have. As I said, we've got Galleria Mall, Atisuto Galleria Mall, we've got Al-Ghura Center, we've got the Bay Square opening very, very soon, where our central kitchen is going to be. We've got even Batuta opening, as I said, after Ramadan, and that is going to be, we're going to create the bakery. But next year we've got as well like 4 or 5 locations looking up. We want to expand into Sharjah, Abu Dhabi, and outside the Emirates if possible. Thank you very much.
Thank you. Thank you. Okay, so I'll wrap up with a question for you also, I think just for the floor to maybe gain a little bit more insight. When you're scaling a business and bringing something so authentically Japanese to a market here, operationally, clearly there are quite a few barriers to manage also, whether it's supply chain, training, etc., and institutionalizing your operation. Are there any insights you can share as to how you can create that success, or what you believe are the USPs that make your brand more viable for scale?
It's not been easy. It's not been easy to go to, obviously we've been to Japan, as I said, 4 times in 1 year. And to connect to the Japanese people, it's complicated. You know, you don't have someone, like, we are very lucky we've got that person who is Japanese, and we've been able to be in places where maybe other people cannot get. You know, like to get business inside of the Tsukiji market is almost impossible for a foreigner, not Japanese person. It's happening now as well with the charcoal. We're trying to get some very good quality charcoal for the yakitori grill, and we're having a lot of problems as well. At the end, we're going to get it, and in a month we're going to have it here. So there is a lot of problems, but if you want to get it, you're always going to get it.
Great. Well, just a quick round of applause for the 3 gentlemen who've been kind enough to share their insights and ideas. Thank you very much, Rohit, Alpesh, and Orestes. I'll hand over back to Jennifer now. Thank you.
Thank you very much, guys. They were very, very interesting concepts, and we wish you all the success with those. And thank you so much, Gaurav, for being a great host. I think you kept us pretty much to time.